was can physio really help in the long term?
Well, we don't know. The answer to that is we actually don't know. We know that physio is very good at advising you exercises to do. My instinct is, but it's instinct, is that children, physio with children has to be good if they're developing and growing, keeping things as mobile and as supple as possible. Children often are very good at doing physio because they're running around and doing stuff anyways. But my instinct is it is very good. Whether it helps in the long term, nobody knows, and we need to know that, because if we're going to try to prescribe it for people in the long term, it needs to be known, but we don't know. The other thing, which I think is bad, is if I send someone to see a physio for a CMT, I may have a very specific question in mind, like the major problem with this patient at the moment is they're falling once every 2 days, or the major problem is they have pain in the right ankle no matter what shoes they put on. And the physio will work out, is it something that can be overcome or is it fixed, and then work out what we can do. But we don't know if you send someone generally. So if you go to a consultant and they say, I'm going to send you for some physio, the form will often say CMT for physio. So the physio sees you, nobody quite knows what the problem is, other than you've CMT, or what way they should be dealing with it. So there isn't a good physio kind of list of how to approach the different problems because it hasn't actually been looked at in detail. And I think that is something that does need to be looked at in a major amount of detail. And there's overall a lack of physios trained in CMT. There are a lot of neurological physios who are quite good, but CMT, I think, probably needs more physio input than it does get. I mean, you've seen here, you see the same people over and over again almost, because there's not that many of them trained. Gita, who works with me, is, I think, the only academic physiotherapist in the country who's actually done a PhD in understanding it. I'm not saying having a PhD means she understands it more, but she's looked into the science of it. Physio there's not been that much done with understanding it. But I think long term we don't know. You won't get it prescribed long term.